him a call and see what's going on with him. 732. You know, one of the questions I'm definitely going to ask him is, and I asked his partner, his bandmate, Jordan, about having a rock band, and it's not in the top 20. I would be a little nervous. I would be suspicious. But I love these guys. These guys they have a great IG too. They have great pictures.
Hello, hello.
Francis James, my man. Welcome to the Joe Cozzo Show.
Hey, Joe, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. What's going down, brother? So, you got a lot of things going on here.
Oh, yeah. Quite a bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm talking to Francis James, and you're the lead vocalist, right, of Suspicious Minds?
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about being the lead vocalist. Tell me about singing in front of people, being the lead guy. Is there something that, is that a lot of responsibility? Is that something that gives you a lot of anxiety, or is that something that, you just comes natural for you?
You know what? No, I mean, it doesn't give me a lot of anxiety. There are definitely, like, nerves involved with it, but it's mostly good stuff. It's like, it's not like a bad nerve kind of feeling. It's more like the feeling you get before you go on an exciting roller coaster or something.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of responsibility. I mean, you're the voice of the band. You're the face of the band. You're like the first person that people generally see or pay attention to when you're up on stage. But I love being on stage. It's like my comfort zone because
you're the guy that gets the most pussy.
Yeah, that's how it used to be at one point. No.
Now, being a lead vocalist takes something, right? For me, I walk around, let's just say, I'm 16, 17 years old, and I start singing. I kind of have an idea that I can't sing, that I'm not going to go and try to get a band together so I can be the lead vocalist. But here you are a lead vocalist of a band, a great band.
Yeah.
How did you know that you had the chops, that you had the ability to do that?
I've just always wanted to entertain, and I know I'm good at it. I just know I'm a good singer. Like, I've been told that plenty of times. I mean, I'm also an actor, so I always have gotten from, coaches and instructors, whether it's for acting or music or singing or whatever. I mean, I always get, a lot of awesome feedback. Plus I've been singing since I was, a little kid. I mean,
you have been?
Oh, yeah.
What were you doing? Were you at church? Are you singing in church?
No,
what were you doing?
No, I was just obsessed. My parents grew me up on, classic rock and a lot of pop from, the 90s, and I just loved listening to the radio. So anytime music was on, I just was able to learn songs really quickly and, learn the lyrics and stuff, and I would just sing along to everything I could. And I just always sang.
Yeah, but was there a time? But was there a time? This is the opposite for me. I was singing one time in the car. My mom was like, "You got to stop. You're hurting my ear. You're ruining the song." But was there a time with the opposite, that somebody said, Francis, man, you gotta, and you like being called Francis? Is that what you think? You like being called Frank? What is it?
Yeah, either way, that's fine. I mean, honestly, people have been calling me all types of nicknames for Francis and Frank forever. So whatever you feel comfortable with, because Francis is cool, Frank's cool, that's cool.
Oh, we'll do Francis. I like Francis. Now, is it Francis James? Do I have to say the whole thing?
Nah, you don't have to. But I mean, come on, who else do you know named Francis James, right?
Yeah, no, I know. All right. So, was there a time, what I'm trying to get at here is, was there a day or a time that somebody came up to you and said, hey, I think you should really look into this, or I really love your voice, or, something that made you say, hey, you know what, maybe I should do that. I'm an attorney on the side. And when I was in college, I was doing a public speaking class. After the class, the teacher, the professor said, Joe, stay after for a second. He says, I love the way that you talk, when you're doing things. Have you ever thought about being an attorney? And that's where it kind of all started for me with this whole attorney thing. But was there a time was there a moment that you thought that somebody said something to you and gave you such a compliment that gave you the confidence to go ahead and do it?
Not for singing, actually. No. For acting, yes. When I was very young, I did get a lot of comments from friends and family, even sometimes strangers about oh, you should be an actor, But I don't know. When I was in middle school, me and a bunch of friends just really listened to a lot of the same music, and I was like, yo, let's start a band. And we just did. And I just knew I was able to sing, so I was like, I'll sing, but I wanted everybody to sing. But then people were like,
Takes a lot of
oh,
balls,
I
bro.
sing. Like,
I got to tell you.
I guess.
That takes a lot of balls to be like, I can do it. Let's do it. Let's rap, let's do it. And it's great though, because I guess if you know it, you just know it, right? And what music were you listening to that you said that, I was in middle school and we were listening to a lot of music.
Yeah.
What's your thing? What's your bands that you love?
Well, I mean, it's changed a lot, but back then when I started listening, like when I was like really into music and I was trying to start something, I was listening to a lot of like Linkin Park, System of a Down, Static X, like that type of stuff, like the new metal type of stuff that was on the radio.
I got you.
But then like my taste evolved a lot. I mean, if you talk to me like junior year of high school, all I listened to was like hardcore and death metal. And that was it.
Really? It's interesting.
Oh yeah, but that was where I got most of my start. Like my very first band was with my buddies down in like South Jersey in Manahawkin, if you know where that is. And we started like a hardcore type of band because that was like the big scene. So like my legitimate first time in front of people on microphones were like me screaming and growling.
Well, that could be a little different. I maybe be able to do that too.
Yeah.
Then. That's a little different than having,
it is a little different.
to singing a ballad, so to speak.
Yeah. No, I didn't start clean singing until like college. Until I was until I was a senior in high school, freshman in college is when I started getting interested in like more clean style vocals. So like a huge influence for me there was Avenged Sevenfold.
So we're talking to Francis James here from the band's Suspicious Minds. You also said something before about acting. You said, no, I never got that from singing. No one ever complimented me like that, but I did for acting. So my question to you then is why didn't you pursue that? If that was something that you were getting compliments on, why did you steer away from that and then more into the band type thing?
I mean, I did. They just both happened at different times, and now in my like mid-20s, they've kind of. I mean, it's from a few years back, actually, like my early 20s, is when they collided, and I was like, this is a trajectory that involves both things. I just went back and forth. I think the thing was, I didn't pursue acting at a young age because when I was like in middle school and high school, I would always like go to like the drama club meetings, stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I'm going to sound like a douchebag, but I didn't like those kids. I didn't like the drama kids. Like, I thought that they were way too dramatic and they weren't fun to hang out with. So I was just like, well, I got my buds who like the same music as me, and we can start a band, and we're friends, so let's do that instead.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got to be around the people that you like, and if that was the case, then you're out of there. Now, tell me a little bit about the band itself. You guys are on, it seems like I'm following you guys on Instagram. I see what you guys are doing. You're doing different interviews all over the place. Tell me a little bit about what you guys got going on.
Well, I mean, the album dropped March 1st. We are booking a tour right now, so we're hoping to have tour dates up and down the East Coast starting in July of this year. We're already talking about like new material that we're going to write that'll probably be on the docket for release next year.
Is that a lot of pressure? Is that a lot of pressure to do that? When you have to, here you are, you're going to be going on tour, you're going to be singing, the new album, right? And the new album is Electric Elvis.
Correct, Electric Elvis.
Yeah, Electric Elvis, and then you have to come up with new material too. It sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I mean, if you enjoy it and you put your mind to it, I mean, you could do it. There's nobody, in my personal opinion, if you want to do it and you have a plan, you're going to get it done. That's just where we're at.
As an artist, as a lead singer, right? Is there a place, a venue that if you could, give me two of them, really. If there are two venues that you could, be on, stage and have it, packed house and everybody's just loving everything that you're doing, what would be the two venues that you'd want to be at?
Oh my God, that's a great question. That's tough because I want to say arenas and festivals, I mean,
like a Bonnaroo or something like that.
Yeah, like some festival, open air type of stuff. But at night, I want to play primarily at night because I like having a light show and things like that. I'm really into stage. I'm really into stage shows, and that's something I'm super interested in working on with our tour coming up. But I mean, venues specifically, I really do. I really do. I mean, we played Starland Ballroom in Sayreville before when we were in another band, Jordan and myself, when we were in our old band. And I've been to Starland with like packed house, and I love it. I also enjoy the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, and I've been there when it's packed house, and it's fun too. I mean, those are two local venues I really want to pack out with Suspicious Minds. But I think my like dream would be like these huge outdoor festivals,
like Coachella, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, like Download Festival, Coachella. You said Bonnaroo. I think that's pretty sick. I mean, anything like that. That's just huge. I just love that vibe.
Now, when you are singing, you're on stage or even at a bar, or so to speak. You know, I ask everyone that comes on here that sings, do you ever pick out someone in the crowd and start almost singing to them? Has that ever happened? Because I've always, when I make believe I'm singing, especially when I was a kid, right? I'd be down in my basement and maybe I'm singing Bon Jovi and I'm going bananas and I'm jumping up on the couch and I make, my parents are not home and that's my time. I'm the lead singer and that's the only time I get to sing in front of this huge 25,000 people. But I always thought of the girl, like a hot girl that's in the front row that I would be singing to.
Right.
Here you are doing it in reality. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I do. And it's interesting because when I'm up on stage, I know all the attention is on us and the band and myself. And I love being energetic, but I love taking that attention and kind of reverting it back into the audience, because when you see people in the audience that are really feeling it and they love it and you give them attention, I love when they like realize they're getting attention from the band. I love it. Whether it's a girl or a guy, like, yeah, there's totally been like that pretty girl kind of over on the sidelines that's just looking, and you give her a little bit of eye contact while you're singing. She loves it. But then there's a couple dudes in the middle, like in like the mosh pit or something, having a good time, and they're amped up and there's crazy energy there. And if you acknowledge that energy, they get even more amped up. So I love having the audience feel involved. And I don't know about anybody. I mean, I'm sure people love it, but like if I'm seeing a band like that I love, if they look at me, like I saw Mastodon at Starland Ballroom like this, like years ago, and their guitarist Bill he looked at me and handed me a pick at the end of the set, and I was like, I loved it. There's like no greater feeling when one of your favorite bands looks at you and picks you out of the crowd.
Yeah, no, that's a good feeling. I could imagine. I don't know it, but I could only imagine that. Now,
and I want to provide that for people. I think that's important.
What about, after a certain period of time, you're singing the same songs over and over and over again, right? And, and this could go for anybody. You got Def Leppard still singing songs. You have rappers. I follow Warren G on Instagram. The guy hasn't come out with a song in maybe 20 years, but I see he's going around touring. And I could only imagine what that would be like, singing the same songs over and over again. Does that ever, become, does that ever frustrate you? And do you ever mix it up and sing it differently?
So mixing it up once in a while, a little bit, like maybe like the vocal pattern, maybe that something will change, or instead of like yelling, I'll scream, or do like like sometimes I'll change up things just a little bit. It's not. It might be noticeable if you really know and love the song, but otherwise, if it's live, you're probably not going to notice it much. When we were, I'm still in love with the songs that we play, and I really do want to play newer stuff and make more stuff just because I want more out there in the stratosphere.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm not sick of any of our songs, but I will tell you to like change it up. We've done covers in the past, but I will say that when Jordan and I were in our prior band, there was a couple covers that we did, and I got real sick of some of those covers, but not the originals.
Yeah, no.
There are songs like there's just so much more energy and like there's so much more involved with like our own originals, but like some of the covers, got real sick of those quickly.
I know, I could imagine. And again, we're talking to Francis James of Suspicious Minds. Their new album has dropped. It's called Electric Elvis. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, right? What else is it on?
Oh man, it's on like Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube. If you want to stream it, you can buy it in 2 different platforms. I mean,
It's everywhere. So
I think it's easier to tell you where it's not.
Yeah, that's true too. I want to play a couple of songs here. I want you to tell me about this one, Miss Apocalypse. Tell me about this.
So Jordan wrote that. That like is one of his songs. Because we like split writing stuff. He's like our primary composer, and I'm like our primary lyricist for the band. Now we both do crossover with responsibilities and things like that, but it's pretty much understood. He's got, at the end of the day, like 100% control over like song composition, and I have that over the lyrics. This song was great the way it was when he brought it to me. We did change up the structure of it a little bit from its original form, but the song is about pretty much, first of all, the opening riff caught me right away, and it should catch everybody. That riff is just monstrous in my opinion. It's nuts. But the song is about that girl that kind of, it just ruins your life a little bit. Like she's toxic, she's not good for you. You can't help but get with her anyway. It's a song that deals with a topic almost every dude out there has probably dealt with.
Absolutely. Having that toxic girl, can't get away. That's the poison right there, baby. All right, so listen, let's get right into it here. Miss Apocalypse, and this is Suspicious Minds. We'll play a little bit of it, and then we'll come back and talk about it, all right?
All right.
All right, here we go. I got a couple of things that I wanted to ask you about this, because that riff, is that the riff that he put up on Instagram the other day?
No. I think on Instagram he was just kind of like
he was just jamming.
Shredding.
Yeah, that was sick too. That thing, and that is that was some crazy shit that I saw him do. But my question for you is here:
he kills it on those strings, man. We got an endorsement with Black Harbor Sound, and their strings are killer. Like our three guitarists, our bassist Dan and the two guitarists Pete and Jordan, they love those strings.
I love that you guys are hustling and doing this stuff. This is the shit right here. This is the stuff you need to enjoy right here. Because this is the stuff, if it does blow up and you guys do great, and next thing you know, you're all over, you're going to remember this. You see that all in the movies too. My question for you is he's playing that riff in the beginning there, and then you come on, right? Is it difficult as a singer to have to sing over that? Like, because you got to really step up your game there.
I mean, not really. I mean, there are definitely times when I have a problem, or it takes me longer to find what the melody should be, where it should lie, because of the dynamics of the song. I mean, you got to be, as a singer, like in a lot of cases, I think Jordan brings to the table composition first, and lyrics come later, usually from something I've written, or I'll give him something I've written with a melody and he'll write to it. But it can be difficult, but I just do it. It's really not you just kind of sit down and figure it out,
Now, the next question I have is, I love, I listen to 90s, Pearl Jam, everything, this type of music, cool. Right? But right now in 2019, you don't really hear this sound anymore. It's almost like it's gone. In my opinion, I'm talking mainstream, top 25, Billboard charts type of stuff. Is that a concern to you at all as a band?
No. Not at all.
Why not, though?
To be honest, rock and roll has its place. I've read articles recently. Over the I think 2 months ago, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal about how when it comes to live music events, rock and roll still is the highest grossing genre of music, because the sound of rock and roll spans generations. People go to those shows, they buy merch. the majority of money that an artist makes these days has to do with merch. So that's why you got to be out on the road and playing shows, you know. But I mean,
and not only that though, too, if you
man.
really think about it, not only that, you know,
Yeah.
once you get a following though, too, and once you have, and people love, and you're right, rock and roll is going to be here forever. With the ability now that you could just go and purchase songs, streaming songs, and doing it that way, you know, you can still kill it.
It's accessible, absolutely.
Yes.
Like, there's no reason. I mean, because it's more accessible, it gives bands a lot more opportunity to be heard, but also the universe is now a noisier place, so you got to do something that's going to break through the noise. I'm glad you said that you don't hear this sound anymore, because the bands we're not like up against, I don't want to say it's competition, but like bands that I feel like we can go on tour with, you know, like the Struts, Goodbye June, the Glorious Sons, these guys, like these are the new age rockers, and their sound, like we're in a similar vein maybe, but the sound's different. At the end of the day, it's different.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to get into this next song here that I want to play. It's You Never Knew, and then in parentheses, The Things We Do. Tell me about this song.
Yeah, so Jordan had a song one day that he wrote, that he composed, and that's it. And he was like, I don't know what the song's about. And I was like, dude, I got the lyrics. I just had lyrics written. So You Never Knew is pretty much him bringing one part of it, me bringing another part of it, and it worked. It just friggin' worked perfectly. You Never Knew is about, so the story I wrote is about a guy who, he goes to a crossroads to summon a crossroads demon, and the demon that appears is a beautiful girl, and he asks for his wishes. They kind of, I don't know why or how, but they kind of fall in love, and he can't help himself, so he cheats, you know. He's got that problem where he just can't help it. He cheats, and he tries to hide it from her, but she finds out, and she pretty much chases after, like not chases after him in the sense that she wants him back, but she's like she's hunting him to kill him. So in the song you hear like my head's gonna look good up on her wall because she's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this idea about how like you get what you ask for, and then you fuck it up.
I got you. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got going on. You Never Knew. And again, Suspicious Minds. We're talking to Francis James. Let's see what we got.
I was walking on the west side line, looking for a shred of a good time. She pulled up in a black 62.
How much pussy you getting? You getting a lot of pussy doing this shit? Be honest with me.
Nah, man, I can't. I got to keep that shit under control.
Are you single?
Nah, man, I'm married.
Are you married?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you fuck. You got a great sound, man. You're such an
Thanks,
idiot.
dude.
You're such a fucking idiot. You could be killing
No.
it out there.
No, man, I did that in college, and I was like, I'm done with it. I found this girl, and I was like, you know what? Like, I found what I knew I'd be looking for in the future. Why would I screw that up? Why don't I just lock it down now? So I did. It's much easier to deal with because out on the road, like live shows, like it gets weird. I'm not interested in messing around. It's just, at the same time, I don't like playing like emotional games. I don't want to, I used to be a heartbreaker. I'm done with that. That's over.
No, and you know what, too? You made a good point before, just now. You said, you know, you lock down the girl. If you're single and you're on the road and it's this one, that one, this one, it almost takes away from your focus of trying to achieve what the main goal here is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then all of a sudden it starts turning into you're catering to other people. Now you have your wife. She's your rock. You're focused, and you can now just focus and tune into the music, right? Isn't that the thing? That's the whole objective.
Absolutely. absolutely. It's more important. I mean, because that's if you listen to like every rock and roller story about being on the road and being single. I mean, they just at the end of the day they keep coming across Miss Apocalypse. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, tell me about some dates that are coming up. You have any shows? You guys have anything planned?
So our booking agency we're working with, Third Eye Booking Agency, what they're doing is they're setting up dates up and down the East Coast. We don't have anything solidified. We're waiting on responses from venues because it has to be very organized. So we're trying to do like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday dates only. So late July, we're looking at Northeast dates. So like New York, Asbury, Philly, maybe Delaware, whatever.
I would be so excited, man. I'd be so pumped.
Hell yeah, man.
For you
and
guys.
In August, we're going like mid-Atlantic and then down south for the rest of August.
Who's taking these pictures of you guys, too? Because they look real professional. You guys do a great job. I don't know who's choreographing and who's setting it up.
We got a friend. Dude, we got a friend. His name's Zachy Black. Zachy Black.
Shout out to Zachy Black.
Zachy Black. This kid. So first of all, he lives like an hour west of Philly, like in the sticks. And he literally, like, if he pulls up to your house and gets out of his car, you're like, this kid walked out of like the mid-'80s. Like he's got the long blonde hair, the bandana, the skinny jeans. He looks like, I mean, honestly, like he could be in Bon Jovi. That's the kind of look he's got. And he wears the eyeliner and stuff. He's a badass dude. But I don't know even how we met him, but we met him and he's a killer photographer, killer graphic artist. He did the art for the logo. Our logo. He took all of our pictures. He does a lot of the editing for our pictures, whatever is like a lot of the stuff that's graphically done. He kills it, bro. He kills it. We love him.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the pictures. I love all of it. I'm like, shit, man, these guys are just fucking one after the other after the other. It's great. And it's great that you had this sound. I'm happy for you guys. Again, we're talking to Francis James from Suspicious Minds. You can follow Suspicious Minds on Instagram at @BeSuspicious. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is at @OFrancisJames, just OFR, like
Francis. Okay. Francis James on Instagram. And listen, man, anytime you guys want to come back on, I love the sound. I love everything you're doing. And when you do have a show in New York, please let me know so I can take my girl and see you guys.
Absolutely, man. You're there.
All right.
You are there.
Thanks, brother. You have a great day.
You too. Enjoy it.
All right. Peace.
Later.
Yo, this DJ Fink, and when I'm not on the 1 and 2s, I'm listening to the Joe Cozzo Show.
I got to get some new drops. I got to get some new people to come in here. I feel like I'm like Francis James singing the same songs. I can just imagine what you guys are listening to. I got to get some people in here and do some new drops. I got to get this whole thing mixed up here. Okay, changed up here. That was my man, Francis James from Suspicious Minds. Be sure to go on iTunes, Spotify, buy their new album. Listen. I got to tell you the truth. I'm just being honest. I love their sound. I just get nervous about the market for it. But if they love what they're doing and they can make money off of this, and even if they don't, if they have regular jobs and they're just doing it and they love it and people are gravitating towards it, even better. You know? But I don't know. I just find it difficult to want to enter into something when that genre has bit the dust, so to speak. I mean, back in the 90s, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Nickelback, all of these groups, 9 Inch Nails, that's the time that's when it was live. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, see ya, night. And what took over is pop and rappers not rapping. It wasn't hard. Even, you don't even have 90s rap anymore. This new rap is just, it's two different things. If you out of nowhere, if I'm listening to 90s rap, right, back in the day, I'm listening to 90s rap and I have, let's pick a song here, right? Let's see here. Okay, this is something from, say the 90s. And now I'm listening to this first. Okay, and I'm playing this and let's just say it's 1992. All right, here we go.
Fuck you losers, while you fake jacks, I make maneuvers like Hitler, sticking up with German. The Mr. Methacal from Staten Island will be back after this message. Don't touch the dial. Rarely do you see an MC out for justice.
You know, that's that. That's 90s rap right there, okay? That is it. That's the typical 90s rap. But then all of a sudden, you listen to today's rap, and you would think that it's night and day. You would think they were just different genres. Here, listen to this.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
a tractor, lean all in my blood. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask.
And this is a top 20 song on iTunes. This is Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X. Before that was a Tupac album. Got my mind made up. But again, it's night and day. What are we talking about here? So anyway, what I'm trying to say is I love them as a band. I don't know. I think it's because I love them so much. I want to see them do well. But listen, they proved me wrong. God bless. I'll be the first one right there cheering them on because they're great kids. I love everything about them, and I love their sound. I personally used to love that music, and that's why I have them come back on the show. I just hope, I guess I just hope rock and roll comes back. Maybe that's what it is, too. Who knows? Anyway, let's wrap it up here. March 21st in the books. If you want to be on the show, go right to my website, thejoecozzoshow.com. You can fill out a guest form there, right on the menu page. Also, a show suggestion form. What else? Oh, if you can, go to Apple Podcasts. Helps out the show. Write a little review. Subscribe to the show. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out of here. Tomorrow's Friday. The best. Peace.